Welcome to another episode of Wealth Beyond Numbers. I'm your host, Dennis Corl, and today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, and that is what happens when there is a divorce in a family and how the financial aspect of it affects people and individuals as they transition into their new chapter in their life. So in my practice, we like to help clients transition to retirement with financial confidence, provide them tools that can help them understand where they are financially, their investments, make sure they earn a good interest on their savings, and build wealth for them. But there's other areas of wealth beyond numbers that are just as relevant, and that's the objective of our podcast, to provide education that can be valuable and helpful to you. Today we have a special guest that I'm going to introduce in a moment. But in my years of experience, transitions are always hard, especially divorces. Having gone through that myself, I can tell you that I can coach clients on how to financially be in the best place. But there's other areas that are important for individuals to know, especially as they make this transition. So today we have a special guest, Francia Corral. Francia, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're an accomplished divorce attorney. You are also the founder of Francia Corral Law. Mm-hmm. You are also a single mom, so I take my hat off for you. You're a business owner, businesswoman, and I also help clients go through these transitions. So I'm grateful to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor for me to be here.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure, and thank you for making the time. So Francia, can you tell me more about your process of how you help clients during transitions and divorce, and kind of what you do and what inspired you to open up your practice?
Okay, so I worked as a paralegal for many years before I became an attorney, and I worked in a lot of different areas of law. But I kept coming back to family law because I felt it was the area where I could do the most service for my clients and really help them in their personal lives. And being a child of divorce and having gone through a co-parenting situation with my daughter's father for many years, it felt not just personal, but, it just felt like more of a calling than, anything else. So that's how I ended up in family law. And how I approach my case is really, I take a very personal approach. I get to know my client first and foremost. What is it that they need? What is it that they want their life to look like after a divorce? What exactly are they going through? Is litigation the right approach for them or not? There are other options, and I don't think that litigation is the best option for 90% of people. So, I take the time to do that work and approach my cases, all of them, in that way.
Okay, great. You mentioned that you like to work with clients in different ways to help them accomplish the best result for what their life will look like. Yeah. And that also has a lot to do with their finances. I mean, divorces are, I think, from my experience, 90% of it is financially based. So we're going to dive into that in the next topic. But on that note, what are the advice that you would recommend for people as they consider that transition in their life? Maybe they're not sure if divorce is the route that they want to go through. Maybe they're still holding on to their marriage. I mean, because it's a very emotional aspect. It's not just the financial aspect. It's also the emotional side.
Yeah. So I think in divorce cases, I look at it like in three categories. There's the kids' issues, there's the financial issue, and then there's like the mental and emotional aspect of it. And I think all three are equally important. But a lot of times people stay either because of the kids or because it's very expensive and it's scary. It's scary, especially if you're not the breadwinner in your household. What is this going to look like? How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to take care of my kids? This is a lot of times what holds people back, and they stay in unhappy and unhealthy situations and model unhealthy behaviors for their kids because they're scared to leave because they don't know where the money's going to come from. And maybe, they have enough assets. Maybe there is enough money, but they just don't know. They don't know how to manage themselves. They don't know, how to pay the bills or how to do things. So
And that can be very scary. In my experience helping clients now for 20 years, I've coached many different clients go through divorces from the financial aspect, and I always do tell them that they need to speak and seek for legal counsel.
yeah,
But some do, some don't.
yeah,
We'll talk about that in the next episodes. But I can tell you that from experience, I'm one of the first calls that I get when a client is decided to go through that transition. Normally, 9 out of 10 times, they're already ready to move on, and something must have happened. And I try to always put them in the right direction and always have them have a professional helping them. It's not Google, it's not the internet that's going to help them. It's really looking for a professional that specializes in that field. Not just your friend's attorney, it's going to help you. It's just somebody that specializes in family law.
yeah. And I think that is a very smart first call to make, because one of the first things that I tell potential clients is you have to know your numbers. You have to know what are your finances, what are your bills, what are your monthly expenses, what is your monthly income, what are your assets, what are your debts. Like, these are things that you have to know when you're going into a divorce. So it's smart to call your financial guy,
Yes.
when you're
Yes.
getting started on that process.
Yes, I'm also glad that we're talking about that, because you are also a client of Corl
Yes.
Management. So thank you for your support. Well, I want to just thank you so much again for being here. The next episode, we're going to talk now more into the next phase of collaborative divorce. So I'm very happy to have you again and happy to be discussing this. And we're gonna close our first episode on, as we like to say at Corwell Management, retirement and financial confidence starts here. Thank you.